Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I've decided to do a little bit of C-class racing today. I haven't done much tuning for this. Basically all I've done is reduce the weight and upgrade the tyres, slightly better tyres. It means I'm usually about 2 seconds a lap off for pace. So straight away somebody comes by quite quickly there, and then I have somebody just absolutely barging the way through. Remember that guy? He's pushed his way through. I almost went into the sand there. I nearly lost it completely, but I managed to just about keep control. Round the corner, you see there's been a lot of crashes, and he must have made some contact with somebody else, because it looks as though they're having a bit of an argument now, and he's trying to take him out. But he does manage to come back at me later on in the race. It's a drag race down into, I think, is this club corner now? And I'm just feeling out my braking point for this car still at the minute. We've got a punter ahead, so we're just going to see if we can catch him going into Brooklands. It's gone pretty wide. Mind you, I've gone quite wide as well. I'm cutting back. I'm just going to try and get a nice exit out onto Hamilton Straight. I think this is a Hamilton Straight. I can't remember if it's this one or the other one. But yeah, I've definitely got a run on him, and then just at the last minute he kind of moves over. I don't think it was his fault. It wasn't a particularly late block. It's hard to say really. I just couldn't make up my mind which side to go. At first I was going to go to the left, and then it seemed like he was moving back over, so I went to the right, and well, eventually I managed to get alongside now, and I should be able to just start braking, and I've got the inside line for this corner. I cut it a little bit, just accidentally there. I really just turned in a little bit too early and took a little bit more curve I wanted to. Anyway, this is the guy that pushed me out on the first lap, and I'm just blocking him off now. Been quite aggressive with my block. I'm just saying, nope, you're not coming through, but he's got other ideas, and he just hits the back of my car there. I don't know if maybe I was just braking a little bit earlier than I expected, or if he were deliberately trying to hit me again. But I managed to keep the position for now. We're going to see him pushing me out of the way again, so I'm just going to skip back now to his point of view. Now, to be fair, I'm not using aero, so it might seem like I'm being a little bit slow in these corners. But you see there, it hits me in the back, opens up that gap, and then just pushes me completely out of the way. I struggled to keep control, but yeah, I just managed to keep the car under control. But yeah, I decided that enough was enough, and I'm just going for the takeout now, and it's quite nicely done actually. I usually completely just get that completely wrong, but I managed to actually get that one on target there. I don't normally like to do that. It's not really my sort of style. I'd sooner just beat somebody fair and square, but that guy, I knew he had a lot more pace than me, as you can see. He did a lot more speed, and I just don't think it's fair for people to just push the way past and then, you know, go off into the distance. So I thought I'm gonna beat him there. So we're moving to the next race at Mugello, and if you thought that last race was a bit of a disaster, it's nothing compared to this one. This one goes really badly as well. I almost get a good result out of this one. Again, the drawback is I've got no aero. I've got a small wing, but that doesn't really do anything. That doesn't produce any downforce. So I get hit by hitting the rear by this guy, and somebody must have seen that, but this guy must have seen that and thought, yeah, that's enough of that. And he, quite a fast driver, takes him out, but unfortunately I get kind of tangled up with it as well, and I end up losing loads of positions and dropping right back here. I do manage to catch somebody up, surprisingly, in a Tamo, I think that is. I thought that would have done quite well around Mugello, but I managed to get by him quite cleanly there. And the guy that helped me out, that pushed the other guy off, he's just right behind. I'm looking back. It's quite a big pack though, so they might tangle up with each other. I'm coming past the guy in a Fiat 500 now. I'm going to get him on the brakes. It's a fair move. Yeah, it's quite nicely done. He's trying to hang it around the outside, but I don't think he's going to quite manage to do that. It was looking fairly promising at this point. It looks like I was going to start going up and maybe even looking at maybe a podium position, but then this guy, he comes back at me again. Just because I can't carry that same amount of speed through the corners, people seem to think they can just barge the way through just because you're not going as fast as they can, which is really annoying. But I guess some people are just a bit inexperienced. Well, I decided to go full try hard now. I got fed up of getting barged out of the corners, So I'm going to go full try hard and see how many people I can overtake. I'm starting from the back, but I put braking line on and everything. I've got Forza wing, got a leaderboard car, and I just thought, yeah, enough's enough. I'm just going to try and do well in a race for once, because I just got fed up with people dive bombing me all the time. So I'm going past the guy in the classic Porsche there, lining up down the main straight. I'm going to try and outbrake this guy in the Honda Civic. It's going to be a tall order. There's a lot of cars around, so if it goes wrong, if I get my braking point slightly wrong, it could end quite badly. Looks like I've got the guy alright already. Just about managed to not hit anybody. I think maybe it was a slight bit of lag, but unfortunately my good exit's been blocked. I'm just glad I managed to get through that hairpin without hitting anybody really. It's quite well done. I think the guy in the Datsun's backed out of that one, luckily for me. I'm in quite an aggressive mood at the minute, so I'm definitely going to be going for some strong overtakes, which is not like me really. Usually I'm fairly patient, but I've got a better exit than the guy in the Mercedes. Got up alongside. Looks as though maybe he's backed out of this one, although he's trying to hang it around the outside. Fair play to him. So we're still side by side. I'm going to try and outbrake him, but it's going to be very difficult from this point. It's slightly off camber, but it looks like he's gone a little bit too hot into the corner, so I'm going to try and for the cutback. We're still alongside, but finally he backs out, and I do take that position. So again, we're up behind this guy in the Honda Civic. Seen a little bit of space and I moved into it. Try not to force him wide. I've made pretty good progress, and really my aim is just to catch up with that French guy that took me out, kept taking me out at the Mugello race, just to catch him up. And then the guy in the Civic passed me back just to do it like this. But like I say, I'm going to go for some strong moves, so I'm going to chuck it down the inside. I don't know if that move was quite on, but it's given me the space luckily. And now we've caught up with the guy who took me out at Mugello, the French guy that took me out at Mugello. And at this point I just thought the opportunity was just too perfect. It's taken me out too many times, and this is it. I'm going to go for the ram. There's somebody in the way, hopefully they'll get out of the way. I'm lining it up, it looks perfect. I'm going to go for it, and then just at the last minute I get a little bit of twitch to the right and I take out the wrong guy. I've hit the wrong guy. This guy's a good racer. I didn't mean to hit him, and I'm going to wait for him because I've completely ruined that. But he's just quit the race, so I feel really bad. But anyway, I managed to catch up with that French guy. He's pissed off at me now because I took that other guy out, maybe, or maybe just because he's a complete rammer. But yeah, he's tried to take me out there. He waited for me to try and take me out. A little bit later on, he has another go. I didn't notice until the last minute, but he goes for a really. There he is. That's his proximity area going across there. We'll see it from his point of view. Some angry gear changes there. That's the sound of somebody who's really pissed off. And he's going to try and hit me now. He goes for it, it's a complete fail, and I think that just sums up this lobby, this session. It's been a bit of a awful session really. It looks like he quit that race. So we're going to skip to a quick bonus clip now. So there's loads of people just extending on this corner, going way extending, so much so they end up hitting the barrier, about 3 abreast there. They're all going into the barrier, and he's pissed off with this guy because he made him go into the barrier. And it's yeah, it's all just messy, and again it just kind of sums up this lobby. It's been a bit of a bad one, but let's see now. I've calmed down now. Let's see if we can have a decent race. I messaged the guy that I took out by accident and told him it was an accident, and he said it were okay, so we're all good. So we can calm down now. I've got the racing line off. Try hard mode has ended. And I'm back in my BMW, and yeah, we'll see if we can just have just a nice clean race now. I've calmed down a little bit, and yeah, we're at Prague obviously, as you can see, and I'm back in the BMW. Basically all this car has got is I've upgraded the tyres slightly. I just got a better compounder tyres on, reduced the weight as much as possible, and I upgraded the air filter, so it's kind of just a tiny bit more power, but it's still not right up to the 500 PI. so I'm definitely down in terms of lap time, but I managed to catch up with somebody anyway, and he's in a 944, which I know is also not the fastest of cars in C-Class. So I managed to get a cutback, and I'm not sure whether we're taking the cutting line. He says yes we are, so okay, it's on. Going to be taking all the curb at that chicane from now on, and you can just see how much of a gap it's managed to give him there. We was pretty much, well, right next to each other, and just from taking that chicane he's managed to gain probably about 7/10 there. And I just have to apologise if I'm losing my voice a little bit there. It's I was out busking all yesterday, seeing if I could make a little bit of extra money, so I've kind of lost my voice a little bit. It's a bit croaky, but I'll try and persevere. It's gone wide, it's taken quite a bad line, so I managed to close in a little bit, and as you can see on the exit I've got a bit of a run. I'd say, judging from that, it's probably not using braking line either, so I do respect that when people don't use the braking line, and when they use cars like the Porsche 944, cars that are not so great in the class. Almost going to the barriers there. I tried to brake so late, just had to back out of that one. Luckily I took a very wide entry, so now we'll be taking all the curbs here going through this chicane. I'm going to try and cut it just as close as I can to this wall. That is just about as close as you want to get. In fact, maybe too close. I really didn't want to be pushing it that close. I didn't intend to do that. Just about got away with it. So we're on the last lap, and somehow he manages to go for a bit of a dive bomb. I think he really just used me as brakes there, so that was quite an unfair move. But I'm going to see if I can get the cut back. We're up alongside. I'm going to try and outbrake him, see if I can do it. I think I can. I've outbraked him. I've gone quite wide, and he's managed to get the cutback. To his credit, that was quite well done, and there's no way I can come back at him now. I'm just going to have to settle for 7th place. But it was a nice little decent race after all the craziness of the first few at Mugello and Silverstone. And here's the results. And if nothing else, it was quite entertaining. It's been quite fun. I've got some new paint on my car. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching. And if you did, hit like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And I'll see you next time. Thanks.